Hey guys, it's Christina here and it's day 22 of vlogging. Tonight I want to talk about a point that's been kind of coming up recently that I noticed I was projecting onto my dog. And I think that it more has to do with me, and it actually, I think, is a key point for me to start investigating and understanding and just looking deeper into. So I thought it'd be a cool place to share it here as a point of like opening it up. So the point that I see with my dog is that she displays like fear if she has like an injury or anything and we're like investigating the injury on her. She goes into this real like panic state, and I think it's because one of the first times she was injured, and I think I mentioned this on a vlog already, but one of the first times she was injured pretty severely, I went into an emotional like worry and concern and fear that she would have like some serious damage. And so when I was dealing with her, I was in an emotional state, and it was like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Like it was this like pitying her and feeling bad and feeling sorry, and so now every time that she goes and like gets injured somehow, I'm like, are you okay? Like what's going on? And she goes into this like real fear state. And one of the things that I started looking at and considering is my concern is that she may start to hide symptoms or like hide evidence of being injured. Like she won't maybe show or express or communicate to us that she's injured in any way because she's afraid of that experience, because of the feedback that she's gotten from her reality in previous times of being injured. You know, dogs learn based on physical feedback. So there's an action, and then it's like a cause and an effect, and then they just learn from that process. Like if they do an action and they get this result, they start learning that that's how it goes. And so, you know, if they do a trick and they get a treat, then they'll do more tricks, you know. If they get injured and there's like an emotional negative like energy surrounding that, then maybe they might develop a behavior around that. So my thinking that was a projection that I'm noticing now was that I was worried that she would start hiding she might start hiding injuries that she would have because she was afraid of the physical feedback that her reality would give or provide or give back. And while that might be the case for her, I also think that dogs are supportive to their people and display certain behaviors also that perhaps we can reflect upon ourselves. And it really started to make me look at this point of how I am in certain ways so judgmental and afraid to be honest about either what I'm experiencing or actions that I take, or, you know, just being like honest about things that I do. And I've mentioned this previously in vlogs before, but it's like being so afraid of like being honest about what I do, thinking I have to hide certain things about myself because I'm afraid of the feedback that I'll get in my environment. And so that made me consider, okay, this is a learned behavior. I suppress and go into hiding and judge myself and fear what other people are going to think because I learned this behavior along the way, that if I act in certain ways or if I do certain things, then I'm gonna get a certain like specific feedback. And so I avoid that, and so I lie and deny and suppress and ignore and don't don't take pride in who I am. I'm just in judgment. And I just think there's always something wrong with me. And for my whole life, I have sought validation outside of myself, needing approval so bad from my environment, needing my environment to give me good, positive feedback. Part of this could very well be the whole like reward punishment system that we have with children, where we try to instill morals and good behavior by having this whole right and wrong reward punishment system. It's in the Christmas tradition, you know, if you're a bad kid, you get coal. If you're a good kid, you get presents. Same thing with kids. If you display bad parents according to the, if you display bad behavior according to the parents, you'll get punished. And if you display good behavior according to the parents, you'll get a reward. So somewhere along the way, I learned that I would be punished for being myself, for expressing my experience, good or bad. It's not even about good or bad. It's just like just being self-honest about my experience with not just myself, but with other people. My experience is so much of wanting to hide and keep secret, and so much fear that other people are going to know me and not like me or judge me. And I can't help but connect that to the point of that Hazel is supporting me to see, which is somewhere along the way I learned that my environment or reality will give me negative feedback for being self-honest or being like open about who I am, or what I feel or what I experience or what I think, or yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting point that kind of has been opening up, and I've just been considering, because I know that there are people that exist in this world who have no shame and no fear and can just like, and I know I've talked about this, but who can just like be who they are with no reservations. Like, I know people who are just, they can do things that I would never imagine doing, and it could be simple things like singing karaoke without judgment. Like, to me, that simple act even is like such a like judgmental thing. It's like, I could never do that because I am so bad, I'm such a bad singer, and it would be so horrific of an experience, and it would be so bad, and people would judge me. It's like, it's just lighten up, you know, like stuff like that. Like, so it's a point that I'm aware of, and I'm coming to terms with and understanding how much judgment there is and how much is required of me to practice being willing to express myself unconditionally, openly, to acknowledge and face and address everything of myself, and not hide and not suppress and not judge, to just take ownership of who I am. And I know this is another vlog, but you know, this was a previous vlog, I know that, but the point came up today because I could see more clearly through my dog's assistance how, okay, this is a learned behavior. This isn't something natural in me. This is something that I learned in my lifetime, that if I act a certain way or if I display certain behaviors, my feedback, I'm going to get feedback from my reality, and so I've acted in ways to avoid that feedback. So now the point is to specify for myself and identify what is the behavior that produces the negative feedback that I am trying to avoid. So that is the question I will leave with myself, to continue opening up, and I'll just walk with that question now, and if I find any more points within this, I'll definitely share as they open up. And thanks for walking with, and see you tomorrow for day 23. Thanks guys, bye.
I start to fear you, but it's only me, but it's only me, but it's only me, but it's only me. but it's only